11 Reasons Why Aries Can Drive You Crazy. Aries, the first sign of the Zodiac, is often known for their fiery passion, boldness, and fearless approach to life. They dive headfirst into every situation, taking charge and charging ahead with relentless energy. While this is often seen as a strength, it can also be one of the reasons why Aries drives people crazy. Their impulsive decisions, fiery temper, and self-centered approach to the world can be frustrating for those who are around them. In today's video, we'll explore 11 reasons why Aries can drive you crazy, despite being one of the most dynamic, energetic, and passionate signs out there. From their need to always be in control to their impatience with anything that slows them down, we're diving deep into the quirks that make Aries both exciting and difficult to handle. Stick around to discover why an Aries energy can feel both exhilarating and exhausting. 1. Impatience. Aries is ruled by Mars, the planet of action, and they are always on the move. This results in one of their most defining traits, impatience. Aries wants everything now. Whether it's waiting in line, waiting for others to make decisions, or just waiting for things to happen in general, Aries has a difficult time with anything that requires patience. This impatience often leads to them making snap decisions, rushing through important tasks, and getting frustrated when things don't move at their fast pace. For those around them, it can be exhausting trying to keep up with their constant need for speed. If you've ever found yourself saying, "Can we just take a moment," with an Aries, then you know the frustration of trying to slow them down. Aries doesn't like waiting, and they don't like feeling delayed. It's all about action for them, and when they don't get that immediate response, it can lead to tension and impatience with anyone who stands in their way. 2. Short temper. Another trait that often drives people crazy about Aries is their short temper. Aries is a fire sign, and like a flame, their anger can ignite quickly. They can go from 0 to 60 in seconds, especially when something doesn't go according to plan or when they feel disrespected. What's even more frustrating is that Aries' anger is often intense but short-lived. They'll have a blow-up, and within minutes, it's over, leaving everyone around them confused or feeling like they're walking on eggshells. Their inability to simmer down quickly can leave others wondering whether they're dealing with a ticking time bomb or someone who's just fiery by nature. While it's often quick to pass, Aries' short temper can cause a lot of damage in the moment, especially for those who aren't prepared for the outbursts. For those close to them, this volatility can be exhausting, and keeping up with their emotional highs and lows can be overwhelming. 3. Self-centered. Aries is known for their self-centered nature, which isn't necessarily a bad thing in moderation, but it can become frustrating when it turns into excessive selfishness. They are incredibly driven, and their ambition means they focus a lot of energy on their own goals, often leaving little room for others. This self-centeredness can show up in conversations where Aries dominates the discussion, steering everything back to their own experiences and needs. They don't always consider how their actions or words affect others, which can make them seem like they're constantly in their own world. For those who need emotional support or just a little attention, Aries can sometimes come off as too focused on themselves. Their confidence and desire to lead often make them less aware of other people's emotional needs, leaving those around them feeling like they're being ignored or overshadowed. 4. Overconfidence. Aries is incredibly overconfident, and while confidence is usually a great trait, Aries takes it to the extreme. They believe in themselves and their abilities to the point where they might ignore potential risks or the advice of others. This overconfidence can sometimes translate into arrogance, making them seem like they know it all. Their belief in their own judgment can be inspiring, but it can also lead them to make reckless decisions. Aries doesn't always consider other perspectives because they're so sure of their own. This can create tension, especially when someone else points out flaws or tries to offer a different viewpoint. For those who like to have detailed plans or who value careful decision-making, Aries' overconfidence can be frustrating. They're often the first to dive in without thinking things through, which can leave others scrambling to clean up the mess later. 5. Impulsive. One of the most frustrating traits of Aries is their impulsiveness. Aries is driven by their passion and energy, and when they get an idea or feel inspired, they often act before thinking things through. This can lead to rash decisions and actions that aren't fully considered, causing chaos or regret later on. For example, an Aries might decide to go on a spontaneous trip without any planning, jump into a new business venture without proper research, or even make big life decisions without consulting anyone. Their need for action and their refusal to wait can sometimes create problems for those around them, especially when those decisions impact others or come with consequences. This impulsive nature means that Aries doesn't always take the time to evaluate risks, and while that can lead to bold moves, it can also mean getting caught up in situations that could have been avoided with a bit more forethought. 6. Can be domineering. Aries loves to take charge, but this leadership quality can sometimes go too far, turning them into domineering personalities. They naturally gravitate toward positions of authority, and their determination and boldness often push them to be the one in control. While they can be great leaders, their desire to dominate situations can sometimes alienate others. Aries may try to take over projects, conversations, or even relationships because they believe their way is the best way. This can lead to frustration for others, especially those who prefer collaboration or who want their voices heard. Their domineering tendencies make it difficult to work with Aries when they're unwilling to listen to others' ideas or share control. For those who enjoy a more equal partnership, Aries can sometimes feel overbearing or even dismissive of input from others. 7. Stubborn. Once Aries sets their mind on something, they can be incredibly stubborn. They are determined, and while that's usually a positive trait, it can become a roadblock when Aries refuses to consider other options or perspectives. When Aries digs their heels in, it's nearly impossible to change their mind. This stubbornness can create tension in relationships, whether at work or with friends, as it can feel like you're banging your head against a wall when trying to get them to see things from a different angle. They believe they know what's best, and no matter how logical or reasonable your argument may be, they'll stand firm in their stance. For those who enjoy flexibility or who want to compromise, this can feel incredibly frustrating. Aries' determination often veers into rigidity, leaving little room for open-minded discussion or change. 8. Lack of sensitivity. Aries is known for being direct, and while their honesty is usually appreciated, it can also make them lack sensitivity at times. Aries speaks their mind without much concern for how their words might impact others. While they usually don't mean to hurt anyone, their bluntness can often come across as harsh or tactless. This lack of sensitivity can be especially difficult in situations where empathy is needed. If someone is upset or in need of emotional support, Aries might offer a solution or tell them to get over it, instead of providing the reassurance or understanding that the person may need. Aries' focus on action often leads them to overlook the more delicate emotional aspects of a situation. While they certainly don't intend to be unkind, their approach can feel insensitive to those who need more compassion or emotional depth in moments of vulnerability. 9. Impatience with weakness. Aries has little patience for weakness, whether in themselves or others. They admire strength and resilience, and when they see someone struggling or showing vulnerability, it can frustrate them. They expect others to keep up with their energy, determination, and drive, and when people show signs of weakness, Aries can become irritated. For example, if someone around them is hesitating or not pulling their weight, Aries might push them to toughen up or get with the program. This impatience with weakness can lead to them dismissing people's struggles or rushing them through difficult emotions or tasks. While Aries doesn't have bad intentions, their lack of patience with weakness can be alienating for those who need more time or support. They prefer action and results, which can be a tough fit for those who are dealing with personal challenges or who process emotions more slowly. 10. Need for constant action. Aries thrives on constant action and can never seem to sit still for long. Their need for movement, progress, and excitement is always on high. This constant drive to be doing something can be both inspiring and exhausting for those around them. While they might be eager to take on new projects or go on spontaneous adventures, their energy can feel overwhelming for others who may need a break or prefer a slower pace. An Aries will rarely relax or take time to unwind, as they always feel like they need to be active or accomplishing something. This constant need for action can lead them to take on too much at once, leaving little room for rest, reflection, or even downtime. For those who enjoy quieter moments or who want to take things slow, Aries' restlessness can feel like an endless race without a finish line. Their need for constant stimulation can also create friction when other people around them want a more peaceful or reflective environment. It's as if Aries is always pushing forward, leaving those around them struggling to catch up with their relentless pace. 11. Difficulty with emotions. Aries is a sign that is primarily driven by action and logic, and as a result, they often have difficulty with emotions. They are focused on achieving their goals and leading with their head rather than their heart. While they are passionate and fiery, this doesn't always translate into emotional expression or sensitivity. When dealing with tough emotions or sensitive situations, Aries can seem distant or uncomfortable. They might not know how to process or express their own feelings, let alone deal with the emotions of others. If someone is upset, Aries may feel frustrated or impatient, not fully understanding why the situation needs to be dragged out or handled with delicate care. For someone who prefers emotional connection and deep conversations about feelings, Aries can seem emotionally unavailable or disconnected, which can be difficult for people who need more nurturing in relationships. In conclusion, Aries is one of the most dynamic and energetic signs in the zodiac, but they certainly come with their challenges. Their impatience, impulsiveness, and constant need for action can drive people crazy. They can be domineering, stubborn, and often lack sensitivity toward others' emotions. Yet, at the same time, these traits are what make them so unstoppable and inspiring. Their energy, drive, and determination often motivate those around them to reach new heights, but understanding and managing their quirks can sometimes feel like navigating a storm. Despite their challenges, Aries brings unmatched passion, confidence, and enthusiasm to the table. Once you understand how to handle their fiery personality, Aries can be one of the most exciting and rewarding people to have in your life. So, if you've ever had an Aries drive you crazy, just remember, it's all part of their charm. What's your experience with an Aries? Do their fiery traits drive you crazy, or do you admire their boldness? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Zodiac insights.